Welcome to the Prescott Lab podcast, not just theory, practical science for everyone. I'm Dr. Jonathan Prescott, a physician and integrative medicine researcher at the Ravenshade Institute for Human Health. Gentlemen, I want you to picture this. You're standing at the kitchen counter in the quiet of the morning. The house is still, sunlight just beginning to break across the blinds. You reach for a glass of water the same way you've done 1,000 times and take a long drink without thinking twice. What if I told you that simple act, done the wrong way, could be slowly draining your strength as a man? Not in a way you'd notice overnight, but drop by drop, month after month, until one day you realize the firmness, the confidence, the part of you that once felt unshakable isn't there like it used to be. In more than 30 years of helping men over 60 reclaim their vitality, I've seen this happen over and over, not because of bad genetics, not because of bad luck, but because of one ordinary habit so familiar they never suspected it was the culprit. And when they finally learned the truth, they couldn't believe something so small had stolen so much. Before we go further, do something for yourself and for the thousands of other men who need to hear this. Hit that like button. Every single click tells the algorithm that men's health matters, and it's the fuel that keeps us bringing you more videos, more science, and more answers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why water, yes, plain old water, can either be your greatest ally or your quietest enemy. And once you see it, you'll never look at a glass the same way again. Why hydration is a hidden key after 60. When a man in his 60s or 70s sits down in my office, he usually expects me to talk about testosterone levels, pills, or maybe some new therapy he's read about online. But instead, I often start with something so basic it catches him off guard: water. Here's why. By the time you've lived 6 decades, your body isn't the same machine it once was. The muscles that once held you steady and powerful have gradually lost some mass, and with them much of your built-in water storage. Your blood vessels, once supple and quick to respond, have lost some of their spring. Erections at their core are hydraulics. They rely on blood rushing in, staying put, and creating pressure, but without enough water in the system, the hydraulics start to sputter. Even mild dehydration can set the stage for trouble. Your blood volume drops, circulation slows, and your heart has to push harder to move what's left through your system. And the smallest, most delicate vessels in your body, the ones in your penis, are the first to lose out. The result isn't always sudden failure. It's something subtler, more frustrating. Erections that aren't as firm, don't last as long, or simply don't respond when you expect them to. Science backs this up. Studies show that just a 2% drop in hydration can weaken both your physical and mental performance. I've seen men convinced they were just getting old turn things around in a matter of weeks simply by addressing chronic low-level dehydration they didn't even realize they had. Their energy came back, their mood lifted, and yes, their erections returned with a strength they thought was gone for good. Water isn't just about quenching thirst. After 60, it's about keeping the very system that defines your vitality running at full power. And yet, most men make one critical mistake that robs them of that power day after day, without even knowing it's happening. 2. How dehydration quietly weakens erections. Dehydration doesn't always come with cracked lips and a dry mouth. For most older men, it slips in quietly, disguising itself as normal aging. You go about your day thinking you're fine, but inside, your body is working harder than it should just to keep the lights on. Here's what's really happening. When you're not fully hydrated, your blood becomes thicker, heavier. It moves more slowly through your arteries, forcing your heart to pump harder with every beat. That sluggish current struggles to reach the smallest vessels in your body, and the erectile tissue in your penis is made of some of the smallest and most sensitive you have. If they don't fill completely or can't stay filled, you lose the firmness, the staying power, and the quick response you once took for granted. But the damage doesn't stop there. Thickened blood means less oxygen delivery to your muscles, slower transport of hormones, and reduced efficiency in producing and using testosterone. Over weeks and months, that translates to lower energy, less motivation, and a creeping loss of confidence. And because these changes happen gradually, most men don't realize they're in trouble until the problem is staring them in the face. They'll blame stress, age, or bad luck, never suspecting that something as simple as their daily water habits could be the root cause. The cruel twist is that many men think they're drinking enough water. But it's not just how much you drink, it's how you drink it. And that's where I see the most damaging habits, The kind that can quietly dismantle a man's vitality without him even knowing. 3. The wrong way most men drink water. I've seen it in kitchens, living rooms, even at the golf club, the same pattern over and over. A man goes hours without a sip. He's busy, distracted, maybe telling himself he'll catch up later. Then it happens. After dinner, he stands at the sink, grabs a tall glass, and drains it in one long, satisfying gulp. It feels good in that moment, like pouring water on a dying plant. But inside your body, it's not relief. It's shock. Imagine an old garden hose that's been sitting in the sun for decades, stiff, less flexible than it used to be. Now crank the faucet on full blast. The hose jerks, pressure surges, and the weakest spots strain to hold together. That's what your arteries feel, and the smallest, most delicate ones, the vessels in your penis, are the first to lose out. And the story doesn't end there. Your kidneys, suddenly overwhelmed, race to flush the excess. Within an hour, most of that good drink is gone. If you did this before bed, you know what happens next. Up once, twice, maybe 3 times in the night. Each trip rips you out of the deep sleep where testosterone is built, where your body repairs, where your manhood quietly renews itself. Night after night, this habit steals more from you than you realize: energy, recovery, even the confidence you once took for granted. The worst part? Most men don't even question it. They've done it for years, believing it's harmless, never seeing that it's been quietly draining the strength they thought was just lost to age. But here's the truth: it's not lost. And the change you need isn't complicated. In fact, it's so simple you'll wonder how you never saw it before. And once you learn it, you'll never drink water the same way again. For the right way, step by step. I've seen men make this shift and look back wondering why they didn't do it 20 years earlier. It starts with one simple idea: your body doesn't want a flood, it wants a steady stream. Picture a slow, steady drip feeding a garden all day long. The soil stays moist, the roots stay healthy, and nothing is wasted. That's how you need to think about your own circulation. Instead of waiting until you're running on empty, you feed your body water in small, regular doses so your blood volume stays stable and your tissues, including the most vital ones, stay ready for action. Here's how it works. Within 30 minutes of waking, before coffee, before breakfast, give your body 8 to 12 ounces of water. That's your reset button after a long night's sleep, thinning your blood and opening your vessels so circulation starts strong. Then, through the morning and afternoon, keep water nearby and take small sips, not gulps, every half hour or so. This keeps your hydration constant without overloading your kidneys or spiking your blood pressure. Avoid dumping a large glass right before or after a heavy meal. Your digestive system demands a lot of blood flow when it's working, and flooding your stomach with water can divert resources from where you might want them later. As evening comes, taper off. Give yourself at least 2 hours before bed without heavy drinking so your bladder stays quiet and your deep sleep remains undisturbed. It's a simple rhythm. Start early, go steady, and ease off at night. Men who follow it notice more than just firmer erections. Their energy rises, their focus sharpens, and they carry themselves differently with the kind of quiet confidence you can't fake. But timing isn't just about the daily rhythm. There are certain moments when drinking water can give your blood flow an extra edge, moments most men overlook. But once you learn them, you'll never miss the opportunity again. 5 timing secrets for maximum circulation. Over the years, I've noticed something about the men who recover their performance fastest. They don't just drink water steadily, they drink it at the right moments. And those moments can make the difference between average circulation and the kind of blood flow that leaves you feeling 10 years younger. Think of your body like a finely tuned engine. You don't just pour in fuel whenever it's convenient, you top it off before the drive. The same goes for your circulation. One of the most powerful adjustments you can make is to hydrate before your body needs it. 20 to 30 minutes before physical activity, whether that's a workout, a long walk, or an intimate evening, have a small glass of water. That early boost gives your blood vessels time to expand, your heart time to pick up efficiency, and your tissues time to soak up the oxygen and nutrients they need. When the moment arrives, your circulation is already primed, not scrambling to catch up. Before meals, just a few sips can prepare your digestive system without diluting stomach acid. This not only improves nutrient absorption, but also helps you avoid that heavy, sluggish feeling that can kill your energy and your drive. And here's a tip most men don't think about. Concentrate the bulk of your hydration in the first half of your day. This keeps you energized and prevents those late-night bathroom trips that ruin deep sleep and sap testosterone. Get the timing right, and you're no longer just staying hydrated, you're using water like a tool. But there's one time of day when most men get it completely wrong, and the mistake quietly sabotages their testosterone and their erections. It's a habit so common, I'd bet you've done it this week without even realizing. 6. The morning habit that destroys testosterone. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the same story. A man wakes up, shuffles into the kitchen, and reaches straight for the coffee pot. The first sip feels like life itself, warm, sharp, and familiar. He thinks he's starting the day right, but in reality, he's starting it in a deficit. Here's the problem. You wake up already mildly dehydrated. You've just gone 6 to 8 hours without water. Your blood is thicker and your vessels are slightly constricted. That's the moment your body needs fluid the most. But instead of replenishing, you give it coffee, a mild diuretic that pushes even more water out of your system. Think of it like trying to start your car on an empty tank, then stepping on the gas. The engine might roar for a moment, but you're burning fumes. Thicker blood moves slower, and slower circulation means less oxygen and fewer nutrients reaching your tissues, including the erectile tissue that depends on a quick, full rush of blood. On top of that, low hydration can reduce your body's ability to produce nitric oxide, the chemical signal that makes an erection possible in the first place. Over time, this simple habit weakens morning erections and chips away at your readiness later in the day. The fix is simple but powerful. Within 30 minutes of waking, drink 8 to 12 ounces of water before you touch your coffee. This thins your blood, wakes up your circulation, and primes your body for better performance in every sense. Once you start doing this, you'll feel the difference not just in your energy, but in your mood, your focus, and your confidence. And that confidence matters because hydration isn't just about the physical. It reaches into the way you carry yourself, the way you connect with your partner, and the way you feel about being a man. 7. Hydration and a man's confidence. I've seen it happen more times than I can count. A man comes into my office frustrated, convinced that something fundamental about him is gone. He's not just talking about performance in the bedroom, he's talking about the way he feels in his own skin. He stands a little smaller, his voice carries a little less weight, and the spark in his eyes has faded. What most of them don't realize is that their body's hydration status can influence far more than their thirst. When you're properly hydrated, your blood flows freely, your heart works more efficiently, and your energy levels climb. That physical vitality spills over into everything: the way you walk into a room, the way you meet someone's eyes, the way you respond when intimacy is on the table. You feel ready. You feel capable. But chronic low-level dehydration does the opposite. It doesn't just slow your circulation, it drains your presence. You're more tired, more irritable, less patient. It's hard to approach your partner with confidence when your body feels like it's running on empty. And the more often that happens, the easier it is to start believing the problem is permanent. I've watched men reverse that spiral by making one simple change: committing to steady, intentional hydration every single day. Within weeks, they weren't just getting better erections, they were smiling more, moving more, talking more. Their partners noticed, their friends noticed, and most importantly, they noticed. That's why I call hydration a daily act of self-respect. It's not just about avoiding dehydration, it's about telling your body, I'm giving you what you need so you can give me your best. And when you're ready to put that into action, the next step is to follow a clear, simple plan you can stick to without thinking. 8. Your daily hydration blueprint. I've built this plan for men who want results they can actually feel without overcomplicating it, without measuring every drop. The goal is to make hydration automatic so your body stays primed for performance all day long. Here's how it works. Within 30 minutes of waking, drink 8 to 12 ounces of water before anything else. This is your morning ignition. It thins your blood, wakes up your circulation, and sets the tone for the day. Mid-morning, have another 6 to 8 ounces to keep the engine running smoothly. Around lunch, sip a small amount before and after the meal, just enough to help digestion without diluting stomach acid. In the afternoon, when energy tends to dip, take in 12 to 16 ounces spread over several hours. This keeps your mind sharp and your blood flow steady. At dinner, go light. Then, after about 8:00 p.m., ease off entirely. Give your bladder and your deep sleep a break. Protecting your uninterrupted rest is just as important as the water itself, because that's when your body builds testosterone, repairs tissue, and locks in the gains from the day. Follow this rhythm, and within a couple of weeks you'll notice changes you can't ignore: more energy, stronger erections, better focus, and a renewed sense of control over your body. And the best part, once it becomes habit. You won't have to think about it, you'll just feel it. But hydration is only one part of the picture. If you want to protect your performance and your health for years to come, there's a bigger truth you need to hear, one that ties everything together and puts you firmly back in charge. 9. Closing message and call to action. Gentlemen, after more than 30 years of working with men just like you, I can tell you this: strong, reliable erections aren't just about youth, luck, or genetics. They are the result of small, deliberate choices you make every single day. And hydration, as simple as it sounds, is one of the most powerful of those choices. You've now seen why water matters more after 60, how dehydration quietly undermines your performance, the wrong habits that steal your strength, and the simple steps to turn it all around. These aren't theories. They're strategies I've watched transform men's lives, bringing back not just their function, but their confidence, their energy, and their presence in every part of life. I've seen men walk into my office convinced they were past their prime, only to walk out weeks later standing taller, speaking stronger, and feeling more alive than they had in years. That change didn't come from a pill or a gimmick. It came from understanding their bodies and giving them what they truly needed. So here's my challenge to you: start tomorrow morning with that first glass of water before anything else. Keep it steady through the day, protect your sleep at night, give it 2 weeks and see what changes. And if you found this valuable, hit that like button right now. Every like tells the algorithm that men's health matters, and it's the fuel that lets us bring you more science, more answers, and more tools to keep you strong. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because the next time we talk, I'll be showing you another daily habit that could make an even bigger difference for your performance, your health, and your life. Now, let's get to work.